the NFTLA. So maybe let's start with just like an overview of how you're feeling about NFTLA and describing it, Ethan. And then this is like a pretty chill conversation. We can like take this wherever we want to go. I
Nice.
also really like to involve the audience. So, there's 30 of you in the audience right now. Feel free to like post in the general and different places and tell people to come in. We're going to be, just hanging out and talking to people. So let's just start with a little bit, Ethan, from you, and then I would love to like bring some people into the stage for questions, and maybe that can help us move the conversation. I do want to keep it on NFTLA for the most part, guys, for right now for this session. And then after Ethan has to go, I am more than happy to stick around and do an AMA and answer all of your questions that are specifically related to Praise Pals and what we're doing. So, Ethan, go for it, man. Tell us a little bit about NFTLA.
Yeah, sure, man. Can you hear me okay?
Can hear you great.
Awesome. Well, you mentioned kind of how explosive things have been for us, since we first met, you and I first met. But it's been the same thing for you too, man, which we talked about that yesterday when we had a powwow. Just how cool it is to be on, parallel teams, doing things that are complementary and, watching each other grow, helping each other grow. It's, I met you and Josh introduced me. I didn't, he's very enthusiastic about you, but I didn't know anything. And just to see all the things that you've pulled together. I mean, just look at all the folks that are here. Look at all the,
It's
um,
crazy. What's up, pals? I mean, I'm like literally just vibing. Everyone in our audience is awesome. Like, thank you guys for 30 here right now with us. I mean, we're doing these chats. People are like putting up fan art. Yeah, I've been blown away. But thank you.
yeah.
Really appreciate
What
that.
and you, man, I mean, every time I meet with you, I'm just so inspired. You're one of those guys that just has like that endless positive energy. I'm sure you get drained, quite a bit
Oh,
here
yeah.
and there,
Oh, yeah. I do.
but it's like, yeah, it's kind of whenever I leave a chat with you, it's like, yeah, he's doing it. I can do it. Anybody can do it. Like we can all do it. We can do it.
What's crazy is that I just wrote an article. I just put it on our blog, and I'm a little bit like, shit, should I put that out? Because it's like really heartfelt. But then I'm like, you know what? This is our culture, and I'm a writer. I've been very open in my books. I have 3 books if people don't know, and I I have mental illness things that I have to deal with in my life. And I am depressed and sad and down like a lot actually.
Yeah.
Um, but like when you see me and I'm happy and you get those inspiring things, that's legit. That's authentic. It's because I like talking to you, and like you guys are bomb. I get really depressed and anxious around a lot of the stuff I wrote about in my post, which is like much deeper things, right? Existential things, government, institutions, the world, where all that
Mm,
stuff.
yeah.
But what I think, and I think part of Praise and NFTLA and the whole Web3 movement is that I think we can actually flip the script. And I think we can, because I think it's at least 80-20 for me, maybe 90-10, maybe 95-5, like pain and suffering and like not liking the world, and like 5% of me being super happy, like when you and I talk, right? But I want
Yeah.
to flip that. So it's 95% of the time I'm doing stuff like this, and then 5% of the time I have to deal with taxes and convenience and internet, whatever, all that bullshit. Right. So
Yeah.
I think everything's gonna just go away, but it's like there's a shift happening where I think
Yeah.
creativity and art and collaboration and all those things are starting to be, we're gonna start to become the rulers of the day, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
So um I
Agreed,
know
man.
you love to give me kind words. I really appreciate it, but I want you to talk about NFTLA. So
All
let's
right, let's
keep
do it.
that
Let's do
vibe
it.
and talk to me about NFTLA and how that like fits into all this.
Well, I think that a nice transition from everything you're talking about so far is just community is so important, just in life. And I think that Web3 is bringing just whole new dimensions of community to things. Again, like look at the people that are here. Um, and well, that's kind of the ethos that we're pulling together with NFTLA, community. Connection, collaboration, co-creation. These are kind of our principal values, and so what we've done is create an environment where it leverages the kind of fun, inclusive, entertainment, energetic scene of Los Angeles, and wrap that into like this expanding technology in a way where literally anyone and everyone who's, you know, who their ears perking up about this can come and join and have an access point. I mean, point blank, anyone and everyone can come and have an access point.
I love
And
it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, anyone and everyone from like the most technical nerd, you know, programming blockchain, you know, for years, and you know, hanging out with Vitalik Buterin or something, to, you know, somebody who's a poet, and you know, they've discovered this new domain and they found some way to leverage it, and all of a sudden they're kind of not just this lonely poet hanging out in coffee houses and, you know, giving their spiel, and you know, maybe people give them some, you know, praise as we say, and maybe some attention for the moment, but like it kind of stops way before it feels like it should. And you see these people like doing something fascinating, you know, and turning something creative into something like way more powerful than you could ever imagine. You know, folks doing stuff with dance and NFTs, folks doing stuff, you know, with, you know, physical art, right? Like paintings and things like that, and NFTs, that photography, just things that it's not just like 3D art and Blender, you know. People
Yeah.
is a genius, but it's not all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love what you're saying there, and I mean totally agree. And you know, praise pals and these communities are another form of NFTs, and it's just endless. There's so much you can do with it, and it just tracks back to ownership in my mind, right? Like if you can tack ownership onto something, then there's value there, and that's why I think a lot of our community is really excited to get to praise pals because they understand like what, you know, what's behind that, what access that allows, and what things you get along with it with being an owner, right, of that thing. So I also want to highlight what you said. I really like what you said. Someone's requesting to speak here, Matrix. So I'm going to bring you up. Just hold on for a second and mute, and then we'll. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Um, so I like what you were saying about different kind of people, right? Like the coder versus the poet. That's actually really in line. Which is probably why we're partnering with our thing. You know, which is we just really want to find the most remarkable people we can find. That's our measurement, remarkability, you know. And it's like it has nothing to do with how deep you are in NFT or like if you can code or if you're a poet or anything else. It's just like what are you doing in the world, and like what makes you interesting, what are your passions, and trying to bring a lot of those people together to create diversity. And that's what, you know, again, I think really a lot of people in the audience are like jiving with that mission that we have. And I'm glad you guys are doing the same thing, right? I think a lot of these conferences, nothing against Bitcoin conference, but like, you know, it's like that's all they're doing there. And I think that Web3 is a lot bigger than that. So I like to see, you know, I love Bitcoin conference, but like I like to see the new stuff that's coming too, like you guys. So it's exciting.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, you can run parallels. So there's two sides of it. You can run parallels to a lot of existing things. And then just like with any new technology, you can't, right? But and that's good, right? Because that means it's a new technology where you can invent and create, and there's a whole world to sort of explore. But I'm remembering like, you know, Web 2.0, or even, you know, the expansion of the internet, and how various people have kind of found their niche in it, right? It's a new invention. It's, I think, liken it to the printing press or the wheel, you know. Um, for years to come, people are going to be using NFTs in all sorts of various ways, and it's just so exciting right now because it's so fresh and new.
Mhm.
But yeah, I remember Web 2, I got really excited about a project called We Feel Fine, which was where these guys who were kind of computer programmer, but also like design and visualization, data visualization nerds at MIT. They built this sort of web 2.0 integration where you could visualize how people felt on the internet. You know,
Yeah.
and you could go like it would like literally grab Twitter posts and Facebook posts and blogs and stuff like that, and you could see these
I remember
emotions.
it.
Like, do
Yeah,
you
like
remember it?
yeah, like track sentiments, and it was using like natural language processing to find positive or
Yeah.
negative
And
words. Yeah, it's fascinating.
it was all wrapped into this like beautiful, like engaging, sort of animated thing where you could see like all of these comments floating around in all these different colors, and you could click on it and you could see the actual post that it came from and stuff like that. But basically it just reminds me again of this parallel of why does everybody have a place, right? Because it's a new technology where everybody you can create it, right? It's
Mhm.
just like a situation like that where somebody creative can do it, come in and do something. At the same time, IBM can, build their website, which just markets their brand into business to business kind of stuff, and it might seem boring to the average person, right? There's a space for all of this stuff in
Yeah.
NFTs and Web3.
Yeah, infinite applications, right? So Matrix, why don't you on mic? Thanks for coming up on the stage. What's on your mind,
Yo,
buddy?
I just wanted to say, I think what you guys are doing is awesome. I love the transparency, and I just wanted to ask a question about the tokenomics of Praise Palace. I'm curious because I know you guys have staking in mind, but I was wondering, where you guys think, how the tokenomics will work.
Yeah, I really appreciate the question. If we can, I'm gonna put it on pause until Ethan has to go because he's super busy with NFTLA and he blocked off some time for this. So if that's cool with you, Matrix, I'll
Yeah,
move you back
sounds
down.
good.
And yeah, just come back up and ask it again.
Okay, cool.
All right, thanks, man. Um, if anybody else has a question for Ethan, this is a really good time. I'm gonna be around all the time, guys. Like I want to just start literally like popping on and talking to you guys. But Ethan had kind of scheduled this, so if you do have specific questions about NFTLA, raise your hand. It could really be anything, honestly.
No,
Like if you're like trying to
there's
get out there and you don't know what hotel to go to, like we got Ethan, we got the producer here with us.
Yeah, there's other things we can talk about too, which things people might be interested in. Um, One is well, they're both kind of directly integrated with NFTLA. One is like a live NFT project. The other one is forthcoming. And the first one's a Spirit Seed NFTs,
Oh yeah, let's talk
which is
about that for sure.
yeah. So actually, my icon here in Discord is a still frame of the Spirit Seed pre-reveal image. Um, and this is kind of when you talk about like your 88 praise pals, right? Of like this sort of beautiful, is carefully selected, energetic, I don't know, pod of amazing people. That's kind of makes me think of our Spirit Seeds. There's 100 of these things. There's not more. We worked with Nicole Buffett to sort of create this. It's inspired by a project of hers called the Spirit Coins, which is celebrating NFTs and Web3 as like a new currency, right? Using art and creativity as something that's celebrated as currency. So we met Nicole Buffett at your Praise launch party, man.
There you go. That's how it
I mean,
works.
it's pretty impressive the power of the community buildings, and you can build them at different sizes, and I like that you're kind of going for various sizes here, like various sizes you can echo a community at depending on how people can engage and interact and benefit from these relationships that they have together, whether it's being on an AMA and being the one that could come up and help decide whether or not could be recorded, right? Or having some really tight business collaborations or whatever, right? There's such power to that. So, anyways, the Spirit Seed NFTs, they're integrated with NFTLA because there's a VIP ticket included with these Spirit Seeds. And again, we're trying to leverage all the things you can with NFTs. So that's a utility function of this. We're also offsetting 24 metric tons of carbon for carbon emissions for every one of these that's minted. And just to put that
Yeah.
in perspective, that's the average consumption of an American. So, having one of these, you're offsetting that much carbon.
So
Um,
this is important. I wanna highlight this for a second because this is, we're praise, right? Praise pals. We're trying to elevate the world, trying to make things better. And this is like, a lot of our stuff's around good causes and social acts of kindness and just trying to help out, right? And so I think you guys are very aligned with that. And Spirit Seas is such a perfect example. And guys, we are going to decide where we want to put our initial funds that we raised from the drop. Okay. I'm fully planning to sell this thing out, and I know you guys are too. And we want this to go as far as it can go. And so we have been talking to NFTLA and saying, hey, maybe we get involved with the living trees and the spirits.
mm,
So that's just something I'm throwing out there to the 30 people that are sitting here. We will vote at some point. We're talking about potentially sending money to Ukraine. I've got some other ideas thrown around, but this is. Can you just repeat, Ethan, what it is? Because it's like, wasn't it like, is it one tree per spirit seed or something else? Or
So the spirit seeds are offsetting carbon, and to clarify what I said before, 24 metric tons, that's the average American's consumption for a year. And it varies depending on person, but that's how much we're offsetting. So basically you get one of these, you're good for a year. And the Living Tree Project, which is kind of built upon the foundation of the spirit seeds, is a larger collection. We're aiming for 5555. It's kind of celebratory of back when we reached our 50th podcast episode. But yeah, for every one of those, 25 actual trees are planted in the earth. And
I like that.
if we sell that out, it's well over 125,000 trees. And we're putting 2.5% of the trading commissions back into planting more trees. And I don't know, like, it's doable, which I think is really cool. And I think that Web3 and these collections and these communities are offering an incredible leverage that you haven't seen before, right? In different spaces. Yeah.
This is groundbreaking, and that's, again, hope you guys in the audience are getting excited here. You start to put the pieces together. It's like, we can just send money wherever we want to send it, guys. Like, what the hell? Like, that's never been possible before. Even if it was like a Kickstarter or Indiegogo, you had to go through so much stuff, right? And it takes time. It's just so convoluted. Whereas now we can just be like, okay, we have a group of 6,000 people right now, growing every day. And like, we all can just decide, hey, we want to throw some money over here, over there, based on the value that we create, right? We create value. We take some currency that we've got and we just spread it around the way we want to. So I love it. I'm definitely going to have you guys be in the discussion for getting involved with Spirit Seeds or Living Trees.
Love it. Yeah.
Maybe with this drop, if not this drop, then, the whole praise system is very extensible. So we bring you guys onto the platform or support you in another way on another drop in the future. So, but yeah, thanks for letting us know how that all works. Is there anything else about that, the Spirit Seeds and the Living Trees, that you wanted to cover? Is there any like details about how people can pick those up or when they're releasing?
Yeah, there's a ton we can share, and if I don't get to say it all, but people are interested, they can reach out. Just make a note of my Discord and handle. You can get in our Discord, which is edgeofnft.com/Discord. Find me. I'm pretty active. You can ask questions, but I'll lay out a few other things which I think people might find valuable here. VIP tickets are sold out for NFTLA. And we just sold out our Spirit Seeds, which include VIP tickets for NFTLA, a couple days ago. So we are getting inquiries from people who still want to get the VIP ticket. It includes literally a dome show with the saxophone player from Pink Floyd. It's not your typical conference VIP where you get a couple, a couple extra bags of chips or something in a special area in the hotel.
Drink ticket. That's all I need.
So anyways, that they will be available in the coming days. And this is really the first we're hearing about this.
So
and
alpha. Wait, so does that mean you're opening it up? I don't even know this. So
yeah. So basically the way it works is these Spirit Seeds have the ticket attached to them. And we're working out the details right now. Basically what we're going to do is deliver another NFT to the holders of the Spirit Seeds, which represents a ticket voucher for NFTLA. And there's a bunch of people who want their ticket, so they'll just send that voucher back to us, and we'll make sure that they get their ticket redeem code. They'll get their VIP access as included. But some people won't.
You were talking to Mike about this, right? Mike's in the audience right now. Mike, if you want to if you're there, you can raise your hand if you want to say anything about NFTLA. But I'm just bringing that up because Mike in the audience, Mike Rowan, is one of our investors. Oh yeah, there he is. I'll bring him up. And he's doing this, and he's going to be here, and he is one of the founding pals, and Ethan's one of the founding pals. So I want people to understand in the audience, yeah, Ethan runs NFTLA, and Mike, what's up, man? Mike is, what's up, buddy? He's one of the managing partners of a VC fund, that invested in us. And it's like, these are people who are part of our community already. They're going to be here, but they're also doing their own things. And that's the whole point of praise. And I think of Web3 and collaboration is that we can all kind of flow in and out of these things and provide value. So, you know, Mike, thank you for spending your time. Time is money. What's up, man? If you want to say
Hey,
anything.
how's it going? Yeah, no, it's great. I'm excited to be here. I'm actually in the Baltimore airport. I'm traveling up the East Coast from down the East Coast from Connecticut to Florida. Announcement came up, and I figured, hey, while I eat my junky airport food that I'm allowed to eat in the airport, I think that's allowed, right? I figured I'd just stop and listen in. So I'm excited for NFTLA. I can't wait to be out there. Ethan, nice to meet you, and excited to be here and part of the whole community and loving all the activity.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you stopping in. Did you get a spirit seed, or what ended up happening?
Yeah, I have a spirit seed. Yep. So it's in one of my wallets somewhere.
Oh, God,
right?
man.
I know.
I'll try to find it and make it my picture too, I think.
Nice. Yeah, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also I'll reach out to you because so that's one of the things we've done with these spirit seeds. You know Josh, and you probably know Jeff, his business partner,
Yep.
from a way back. We're all about delivering extra value, like we can't do anything without delivering way more value than people expect. So with the spirit seeds, you and I should be in touch because we have some perks that aren't even, listed that you might find fun. And so we'll be in touch. I'll get your info so we can make sure you don't miss out on them.
Yeah, that's great. And my partner will be coming too, Isaac, from down in Irvine. So I'll be heading in there and then heading up. So it'll be fun. Look forward to it. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, well, what I was just going to say is, so some of these all came with a VIP ticket, but some people won't be able to come, or maybe they got one and they just want to keep it, but not have the VIP ticket. So they'll probably will be on the market, some of these vouchers for a VIP ticket, as long as they are up and for sale. And we'll put some information in our Discord so you can verify that it's for NFTLA. You buy one of those from somebody who has it, and you should be able to redeem those by sending it back to our wallet, and you'll get your VIP ticket code. So even though we're sold out of VIP tickets and we're sold out of spirit seeds, there's still a potential access if you want to come to NFTLA and you want that VIP experience, you want the dome show, you want the special dinners, and be able to interact with some of the coolest people in Web3 that are doing the most amazing things. So keep an eye out for that.
That's awesome. And we have Stratranika. I don't know if I said that right. Give me 1 second, and I'll let you speak there. I just wanted to, before you speak, I want to just again, I like to let people know who are here right now. There's 33 of us here and some of us on the stage. Like, this is a moment, right? This is a vibe. It's our own little vibe in here. We got 33 of us, 6,000 others in the crew, but it's us right now, and you're up. I want inclusivity in this community. And so if you're up here, if you're in the audience, you can come on stage and you can talk to us. It's not like we're up here and talking down to you. It's like we're just all in this room together trying to provide some value. So with that, Strat, you want on mic? What's up, man?
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm getting some crazy feedback. Is anyone hearing that?
I think it's some conceptual music piece that he wanted to put for.
Strat, are you like an alien? Is that like digital? All right, I'm gonna move you down because we can't. Yeah, we don't know what you're saying.
We need some other instruments to really make that work, I think.
Wait, it's still happening. Did it stop? Okay.
I think it's gone.
Okay. Sorry, man. Something's going on with your audio. If anyone else has anything to say, or Strat, maybe you can, or I'll try to bring you up one more time. Let's see. Can you?
Yeah, it's a weird echo.
Yeah, some kind of echo, man. Sorry.
One specific thing that I'd love, if there is anybody in the audience who is an artist of some sort, and they're kind of interested in that, the leverage point of NFTs, I'd love to hear if anybody has some experiences or some questions or, some ideas or whatever.
I got something else too along those lines. You know, you guys are still looking for artists, right? I mean, we have an incredible group of artists in this community already. So just shouting it out for any artists out there, you could talk to Ethan directly and probably, you know, have some kind of good discussion around getting exposure at NFTLA. Obviously, he can't just accept anyone, but for some of you guys that we've already talked to or the people that have some really incredible stuff that we've liked, you know, feel free to reach out to Ethan or the NFTLA crew.
Yeah, for sure. I'll highlight we're partnering with Super Chief, which is a gallery. I think they originated in New York, and I think they're just launching some things in LA, and are really a heavy part of the conference. I talked with Ed over there recently, and if you're an artist and you kind of want to know how to kind of follow a project that will give you the resources you need to get where you need to go, they're heavily focused on onboarding, you know, new artists in the space that have something special to say, onboarding people who want to buy NFT art and invest in it, and collectors and things like that, and helping them find, you know, the good quality resources, and building a community where they also are supporting sort of underrepresented groups also within NFT, so that, you know, if there's actually people who are disadvantaged to the fact where they might not be exposed to NFTs yet, or they're just getting into it, or they need a little bit extra help because of where they came from. That's where Super Chief comes in, and they're really trying to push that agenda. So I know, like, as we talk about this concept and we talk about artists getting involved, all that stuff, I highly recommend you follow Super Chief as a potential point of connection for you, a leader in the space, you know.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Should we think about it? I know we're still working things out, but I think that could be some good alpha, you know, for the group here. What do you think, Ethan?
Sure, man. What do you got?
I mean, just generally speaking, right? Like, you guys heard in the beginning of the chat that we already know each other. I was friends with Josh for a long time. You guys came to our party in October, which was awesome. You guys were like doing interviews in the mansion, like in like a private space, and you know, our party was ridiculous. Felt like this festival. And I just feel like we had a connection there, and our relationship has grown. And like you were
Yes.
saying, at the beginning, the trajectory for both of our visions has been just, you know, it's just been like a wave, like in parallel, you know. And
Yeah.
been talking to you guys, and the fact that, so for people listening, you know, we're basically having discussions about really aligning with NFTLA. You know, they're looking to become, I fully believe you guys will become the hottest NFTLA conference on the West Coast. And, you know, LA needs like some life breathed into it from the crypto space, because it was really strong in 2017 and it was a crash. And then NFTs got big, and there were a lot of other areas, Miami and overseas, and places where like the NFT stuff was really exploding. And I felt like LA kind of like fell behind a little bit. And then we got crypto.com, you know, buying the Staples Center. So now it's crypto.com center or whatever, which I think is pretty huge for us. And then you guys, right? And then NFTLA. And then, you know, we're aiming for Praise Pals to be one of the biggest stories coming out of Los Angeles in the NFT space. So it's just super cool to know that we're aligned with you. We're kind of inking the final deals here together, guys, everyone in the audience, so you know. And what that means, like from a broad perspective, is that like this is a long-term partnership. So we are going to ride with you guys, Ethan, you know, and it's like you have an incredible platform that you're building, and I just can't wait to see what you guys do. And then I know you guys are into the pals. I'm super happy to have you as a founder. And I just think the sky's the limit, you know, because you guys really bring the distribution and exposure, and doing such a good job cultivating the community. And then that's such a huge part of what we're trying to do with Praise and Praise Pals, right? So you guys can imagine in the audience us doing other spin-off events, right? Whether they're in the metaverse, whether they're, you know, recorded like this, voice chat. These guys have their own podcast, whether it's big conferences, whether it's smaller mini events that we do in the hills in Hollywood. I mean, so I'm just super pumped, man. Like, you guys definitely have to come to all, you know, our our praise parties, and bring your microphones, bring your crazy outfit if you want to wear something crazy, bring your awesome vibe. Like I'm really jazzed. Ethan, are you there? You're on mute if you are, but I hope you're still there. I hope you heard that.
Sorry, no, I wasn't. I had to go prepare some soup. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I heard all that, man. Yeah, beautiful stuff. I think, again, you knew Josh before me, but ever since I met you, I've seen that collaborative spirit, and we've been pushing it back and forth. We featured praise on our podcast on a few episodes. We've had you back a few times for various, whether you're on the show or we're covering what you're doing. And same thing, like I go to I go to your website or something, and we're featured, like, oh, hey, check out this episode with Edge of NFT. And it's just like the sort of giving goes back and forth very easily between us. And it's beautiful. And in fact, like, it's like there's so many ways in which we're giving. I don't even know that we're both are able to keep track of it. I believe we have like I think we have a collaborative giveaway right now.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I mean, we just happened to decide to do an AMA, and we're like, okay, let's talk about some stuff. It'll be fun. And then I was checking our records or our socials, and I was like, oh, we have this like incredible giveaway we're doing. So we'll have to give that link out, and
Dude,
today
give it out, man. We've got hold on a second. There's some ridiculous amount of activity on this.
Oh yeah, totally.
124,000 total entries. Now there's points, right? So you get like 20 entries for Discord, but I mean there's thousands. I have the numbers on the back end. Thousands of people that are joining this giveaway. So it's just, this is it. This is a future, man. It's like there's so much we can do together, and there's different kinds of currencies. That's what we constantly try to push that message at Praise, is that we're trying to build currency with a conscience, right? That's our tagline. And it's like money that can think, it's not just like a government being like, you get this, you get that. It's like people behind this currency, right? And then who cares about the money, the fiat, right? We're even beyond that. Like you and me, Ethan, are on the next level where we're trading different kinds of currency. We're trading our emotional currency and the communities that we're building behind that emotion. And everything in the future is going to be run off of the individual, and a collection of individuals creates a community. And so if we all get aligned, we can kind of flow in and out of the communities we like, it's just going to be like this. Like, for people listening, if you're like, man, this sounds awesome, like, we're not bullshitting, like, this shit is fun. So if you want to just get into so many people contributing in the community, and even just you guys being here, the 31 of you that are listening right now, we probably had a couple hundred that went in and out maybe. That's value. Like, you guys listening is value. It's just us creating this vibe. And Ethan, I don't know when you need to go, but I want to give you a few minutes to kind of just say a few words, like on a higher level like this, about because people in the audience are like trying to get into this space, and people are trying to figure it out and get whitelisted. But I think a lot of people don't necessarily know why. They just are like, this is happening and I want to be into it. Hopefully you guys have gotten a sense. But Ethan, what are your thoughts, like, from a high level? Like, I always like to ask the question, I did this a year ago at my virtual conference, is if you could put a message on the moon, what would that message be for all these people that are trying to get into NFTs and not sure about the future?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's throwing a bunch of different things in there on the moon. Like, I think about the moon and I'm like, oh man, this has got to stand the test itself.
Message on the moon. What's the first thing? Lightning round, man. You gave me the lightning round at Edge of NFT. Now I'm throwing it back at you. What's the first thing?
That's the first thing. Yeah, I mean, the message on the moon is that, gosh, for the things that come into me in our equation, and I think you're also influencing me on this, is you matter. I think that's the message on the moon, and hopefully that's translated in some way to whoever else is out there. But I think that is where the future's headed. And why do I say that as a kind of way to encapsulate things? I want to say something about the creator economy. I've been talking about the creator economy a lot. Back in like the 2009, maybe, I remember watching videos by Sal Khan, who's the guy who founded Khan Academy and was like teaching kids math online, and it blew up. He did a video where he talked about how the creator economy was coming. Like, yeah, robots are going to take our jobs, but that's fine, right? Because what do we have as human beings? We've got our individuality, we've got our creativity, and that's our specialty, right? And so I know from the way that you talk too that that's the future that you see, where it's not just about like filling a position anymore in the future.
Right.
It's not just about like learning how to do that job that needs to be done that doesn't quite suit you so you can make a buck. It's about you have something special to offer in this world, and we're building the infrastructure so that that happens way more easily, and you don't have to have as much friction as we used to have. And it's like I can tell you're encapsulating it for people. It doesn't seem believable, but I think that is what's happening, and it's just going to get accelerated. And the people that are going to be nervous are the ones that are just uncomfortable in that new situation. It's not going to be a bad thing, but it's going to be like, oh wow, I have to start thinking like, what can I contribute? That's me, Oh wow, this is an interesting new question to ask, right?
Yeah,
So-
dude. Man, okay, that timing was perfect because I was flipping through my third book frantically because I have a little section called The Creation Age. Can I read it to you?
Oh yes, do tell.
This is from my third book that I put out in 2018. So almost 4 years ago, okay? The Creation Age. Welcome to the era of the producer. Because making stuff is so much easier today than it was 20 years ago because society takes a while to catch up. Being a producer is a powerful differentiator. Soon it'll be a commodity. People won't ask, where did you go to school? Instead, they'll ask, what have you created? What product have you actually built? Our world now runs on platforms, most of which require little or no capital to use. If you haven't built something, what are you doing with your time? Most likely, you're just consuming. Thought leaders like Naval Ravikant believe we're entering the entrepreneur economy, an economy governed by the self. A recent exodus from the traditional workplace and subsequent surges in freelancing and startups have already confirmed this trend. As the world's power shifts to the individual, those who can create will be in the highest demand, which is why I call it the creation age. While it might sound scary, it's actually a good thing. This is an unbelievably empowering time to be alive. You're standing in the eye of the storm, a beautiful and powerful storm. You live in a reality where everyone can be an inventor. Think of all the Franklins and Platos and Aristotles and Freuds and Einsteins that will inevitably emerge from this perfect mixture of technology, communication, and freedom. Maybe you, with this book in your hands, will create something revolutionary, something that changes the world forever. The stars have aligned for you to take the leap and make it happen.
Dude.
So like this shit is coming. It's been coming. And there's just a lot of opportunity out there.
Yeah, man. Wow. We always go way deeper than we always go deep. Man, I was just thinking back to the interview we did together with Al Morris of Koi. And we went deep there too. We were talking about, philosophical history and the domains of knowledge and value and all this stuff. And man, you did it again.
It's just like it's where things are going. And I think that you and I are a little bit ahead of the game on it. And I think it's just catching fire now. So it's like you think about founders or CEOs or entrepreneurs of the past and everything was very hidden. And I think people just want to be humans, So I guess with that, I think that's a really good way to close this one, man. Unless I know you're super busy.
I have something to share with folks.
Please, yeah,
if it's in text form, where's the best place to put it in like the general chat or like, is there a chat for the stage or?
We can put something into the announcements or wherever, but just put it wherever and then we'll read.
You'll pick it up.
Yeah,
okay, I'll put it in as the I probably can't post the announcement. I'll go to the general chat. So basically,
tag
it's
me
just
in.
it's a handful of useful links for people. So one is a temporary green list. It's our green list because we're planting trees.
Yeah, I like that.
But it's a green list link for the next couple of hours. It's just edgeofnft.com/praise. So the only thing you have to do is show up and type in praise, and you get on, and then we'll keep up to date with you when everything starts launching and moving forward.
Wellness spots, all you people listening, alpha.
The second here is just a link to NFTLA.live. So if you're interested in that, you can learn more. Our general admission tickets are still available. VIP is sold out. I gave you guys the little bit of alpha earlier just to remind you. You may still be able to get some VIP tickets if you watch what's going on with Spirit Seeds. Right now, it's just the minting site for spiritseeds.xyz. If you click it, keep a hold on it, and I'll add some information soon just about how the ticketing, you grabbing those tickets, from people who want to sell them or whatever, how that process happens. So keep an eye on that. But that's just technical stuff. I wanted to make sure I was able to give that to folks who are interested in any of these projects. But yeah, beyond that, man, like I said, we actually had Al Morris, who you and I talked with. We had him an interview on the Edge of NFT podcast yesterday. And it's so funny, man. It's all these synchronistic things that happen, especially.
He's cool.
Yeah, especially around you, man. Again, Nicole Buffett, we got connected with. You and I had that deep conversation with Al Morris. He's a really deep guy. You came up in the episode recording yesterday, of course, because we were talking about all that stuff. But yeah, I think for all the people here, you know that something special is happening with what Jesse's up to with Praise Pals. Listen to what he said in that reading. He's been thinking about this stuff deeply for many years. Sometimes he gets down about what's to come, but he also knows he's the guy to help make it all the vision of the future that we can all enjoy. So I don't know. Is that a good way to wrap it up, Jesse? I actually have, I could stay till the end of the hour, but yeah.
No, that was absolutely incredible. If you have 5 more minutes, maybe a good way to do this to transition over is to just see if anyone has questions, and it can be about Praise Pals now or Praise. So if anybody has questions about the project, you can raise your hand. And then, again, like I said before, Ethan's one of the founding pals, and we're super tight with these guys. And, it's sort of weird to describe companies now because they're not companies, they're just communities, right? And they all flow together. So it's like Ethan's part of our community, guys. He's part of our organization and our community. So yeah, does anyone have a question, something they want to say, some praise? Does anyone want to give some praise to Ethan?
I got a question for you.
That's an easy one. We got someone to come up for that.
Did you?
It's Stratigan. Did you fix your mic?
All right, guys, can you hear me now?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Sorry, I literally just got these AirPods, which was my first time connecting to my computer. So yeah. All right.
Lovely accent.
It sounded like
accent.
Oh my. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks. First of all, I just want to say thank you for giving me this platform to talk to you all, and I just hope that everyone's doing fine and all during these weird times, but amazing times as well. But first of all, I wanted to ask, but also mention this. You see, I remember, as a kid, I remember joining the golden age of the internet, back, when YouTube first started and all that. And this was a time when everyone was together, the community, we would make weird videos, etc., and everyone would have a good time. And then as time went by, obviously things went down. People were more worried about their subscribers, followers, view counts, etc., and then we sort of got a bit divided from one another. But since this whole NFT and Web3 space sort of came out of the out of the ground, to the whole world, to people like you and I've seen things, and I've seen people's lives change, and I've seen communities come together. You see, for example, this project, Praise Pals. And I wanted to ask, do you see this uptrend going uh, down the positive, up the positive route for the long term, or do you think something similar might happen further down, like let's say 5, 10 years from now, where it's sort of like, okay, fine, everyone has accumulated their wealth, they've accumulated their fame and all that from this space, and then down again? I mean, like, where
Can
do you
I,
see this going five,
can,
10 years from now?
can I take this, Jesse, real quick?
Yeah, please.
Because I might have to run, but that's a really awesome question. And I think I'd love to hear Jesse on this too, but scarcity versus abundance, that's the way that I think about this, right? So Web3 is a new technology. It's beautiful. There's all sorts of opportunity to make something new, create something new, find value, be valued. All these opportunities are there. And I think, this can happen to new technologies, where it gets used up, the ideas run out, like it gets manipulated, all these different things. But I think the optimistic way to view it is there's always going to be a new area of new growth. And I think that's that creator economy, that sort of creative mindset, that abundant mindset that stops sort of looking for like holding on to what you have tightly and starts remembering that there's always some new opportunity out there, is just the way to approach the whole thing. So it's that I think if you just keep that mindset, there are always going to be new opportunities, and that's the way to align, and that's the way I see it. What do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, good answer. I could probably talk about this for days, Strat, but I just wrote an article, literally just posted it before we had to come on here to this AMA because I got really inspired this morning, literally by you guys, by the community here, by everybody. And it was kind of answering this question, dude. So it was like the universe. So go read that article, but it's on our blog if you just go to our actual, like our company site, praisetoken.io, and then go to our blog and you'll see the new post. I just dropped it. And it's very philosophical, so it's very high level, but I'm literally talking about like our whole future, like into infinity. So that's the first place I wanted to start with you in answering that question on the vector of time, right? Because like I have no idea what's going to happen, and I have no idea how long it's going to take or how long things will last, And so that's how I think about things, is like 90% of the time I feel in my life so far, I've been relatively unhappy. And I'm like, why is that? Like, that sucks. Like, I'm here, I'm alive. Why am I not just like happy most of the time? So that is the impetus for me to create Praise Pals, right? So I have a mission, and I'm hoping, I almost didn't make it. I had a lot of issues with suicide and stuff. And I just thought there's something like maybe I can just get one person to think like this other kind of way, And then as this technology has continued to grow and I've been able to sort of pick up the pieces of my past of being unhappy all the time, I'm feeling like maybe there's not just a chance of me being happy more often, but an actual chance for society to make a decision that we can actually create an environment that is joyful in a sustained kind of way, meaning it's not you're happy one day, you're unhappy the next day. It's like we could be happy for generations. I could be happy, my baby could be happy, my baby's baby could be happy, and eventually maybe we could even get so good that we totally evolve to enlightenment, right? And that gets real pie in the sky. But if you actually zoom out, like I tend to think in decades, and like not years or months or weeks or days. And if you really just sort of zoom out, we haven't been around for that long. Humans have not been around for very long, like period. We're just figuring ourselves out, and I think we've gone through phases of trying to figure out the purpose of life because we've reached the highest tier of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which means we've figured out like how to become the top species in the planet. And so we don't have to worry about food, which means we don't have to worry about survival, which means we get bored. And when we get bored, that's when things start to become problematic because we're trying to figure out what we're doing here. And some people are greedy. And with one or two or three or five greedy people, things can get really tough. And I think throughout our whole infancy as human beings, our whole species and into the modern era, we just forgot like what life's about. Like it's the modern world, like that's not what life's about, like at all. Like we're so far off base for what I think life's about. But I think we have a chance here to shift it. So super long answer, man, but I have a positive outlook. I have no idea how long it's going to take, but I really, you and me and Ethan and everybody here and all the whole Web3 community is really making a big push here for a better place.
All right. No, thank you for the answer. And yeah, I mean, I also believe that, things are gonna get better from here. And obviously, we need a balance. I personally feel like obviously we need both good and bad, because if the bad did not exist, we would not appreciate the good, etc., etc. But also, I believe that this community, as we continue to grow, like, I also appreciate you just creating this, because your project spoke to me more than every other project that exists out there, like compared to like the BAYC, the Azukis and all. But this is like amazing, because like you mentioned something in the lines of like depression, suicide, and suicidal thoughts and all that stuff. Because I also suffered from that as well in 2020. But obviously, just hearing you guys speak, I genuinely believe like, you guys may very well be one of the few pioneers, or one of the many pioneers in this space, that will sort of like sustain the positivity and the positive vibes and the universal alignment with everyone else as we continue to evolve in this new space. And once again, I want to say thank you again, everyone, and thank you guys for building this amazing community.
Of course, my brother, you are so very welcome.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, it really fuels me, so
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate you. I'm gonna move you back down and say a few more words, and I'm gonna close this out and get back to work, guys. But
Awesome.
such an incredible little hour of time here with you guys. Ethan, I know you got to go too, brother. So I will. I'm gonna carry on for a minute here and then close out. But Ethan, thanks again, buddy. We'll see you soon. I'll let you drop off here, or you can stick around. I'm just gonna say a few words.
I do have to head out, but it's been such a wonderful time, a wonderful experience, and I'll leave the recorder going here for a minute for your benefit. I'll send you the files and I'll listen back as well to anything that happens after this point. Yeah.
All right, brother. Talk to you later. Thank you.
Catch you later, man.
Peace. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly close out by saying thanks again to all of you guys, and we do have a choice right now to try to just decide like what we want. There's a lot of bullshit going on right now, so pretty sure we're gonna sell this thing out without a problem and make a good chunk of change. So start thinking about where we want to send it, and this is just the beginning. So appreciate you guys. Gonna close it down. We're gonna be doing this stuff all the time, so we'll talk to you soon with praise. This is Jesse. Take care, guys.